Imagine a world teetering on the brink of annihilation, where every move, every decision could spark a global catastrophe. This was the reality of the Cold War, a period of intense geopolitical tension between the Soviet Union and the United States, with NATO nations caught in the crossfire. But this was no ordinary war. There were no battlefields, no trenches, no soldiers charging over no man's land. Instead, it was a war of spies and secrets, of propaganda and paranoia. The players, leaders who held the fate of the world in their hands. Let's start with the Cuban Missile Crisis, the closest the world has ever come to nuclear war. In October 1962, American U-2 spy planes discovered Soviet missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from the coast of Florida. For 13 days, the world held its breath as President John F. Kennedy and Premier Nikita Khrushchev engaged in a tense standoff. One wrong move, and it could have been the end. But the Cold War wasn't just about nuclear weapons. It was also a war of ideologies. Capitalism versus communism. The space race was a perfect example, each side striving to prove their technological and intellectual superiority. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth. This sent shockwaves through the United States, sparking fears of Soviet dominance in space. The Americans responded with their own achievements, culminating in the Apollo moon landing in 1969, a giant leap for mankind. But behind these public victories were countless covert operations. Spy agencies like the CIA and the KGB played cat-and-mouse games across the globe from Berlin to Beijing. Berlin, in particular, was a focal point. Divided into East and West, it became a symbol of the Cold War itself. The Berlin Wall, erected in 1961, not only separated a city, but also families, friends, and ideologies. People risked their lives to cross it in search of freedom. And then there were the proxy wars where the superpowers fought indirectly through other nations. Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan. These conflicts left scars that are still visible today. But why did the Cold War end? Some say it was the economic collapse of the Soviet Union. Others point to the leadership of Mikhail Gorbachev with his policies of glasnost and perestroika. Whatever the reason, the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked the symbolic end of this era. The Cold War may be over, but its mysteries and lessons remain. So, next time you see a piece of Cold War history, remember the stories behind it, the secrets that were kept, and the world that was saved from the brink of destruction. If you want to uncover more hidden stories from history, make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay curious.